Good morning, Run Talks. Jay here. Beautiful morning here in the UK. So it's a bit later than usual today, and the reason for that is because as I was leaving the gym, I got speaking to the gym owner. She's a wonderful woman, and she's what's known as a promoter, so a personality type. Is often about people, energy. She's very good fun. She's that type of person that doesn't like to be intimate with the detail, the type of people that often lack boundaries. And I realised after speaking to her for half an hour after my gym session, and the fact that I hadn't done the run talks and I needed to work on an email I was put together, that I needed to leave. And the reason I need to leave is not just because of all those things, because I became aware that as a promoter, I have a tendency to actually sometimes just get so caught up in the conversation of people because I love people and not actually do the things that I need to be doing, not following through, which leads to inconsistency, and that leads to frustration and not trusting myself a lot of the time, which is certainly something I'm working on for sure. And so what comes out of this? Well, what really comes out of this is that the only reason I was able to see that is because I took the time to really understand myself. And I think that we can learn a great deal about the results we're creating if we were to just simply take the time to understand more about what makes us tick, why we do what we do. And this is why things like Myers-Briggs, DISC assessments, motivational maps are so powerful. Now, a lot of people don't know this. They say to me, Jay, something like motivational maps, which you may have heard me talk about over the last few days, the different intrinsic motivators that are driving our decisions every single day. The difference between personality and motivation is very different, and people say to me, is MAPS just like another personality thing? And the answer is no. See, personality, if you go and do a Myers-Briggs thing, if you did one now and you did one in 10 years from now, you'd probably find that you haven't changed that much. So your personality is largely the same. But motivators change as we go through different areas of our life, as we pursue different careers. We want different things. I'd ask you, do you ever notice in your life that if you've had a child, then your priorities seem to change? The things that what you thought were important before are no longer important or as important as they were. Do you notice that when someone dies or passes away, or there's some big emotional experience in your life, that the way you see the world changes? And as a result, the behaviors you act out and the decisions you make actually change. See, motivation and making decisions can shift. And that's the big thing that I really want to nail down here, is because if you don't understand what is driving your decisions day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, then you're going to find yourself in a place later on down the line where you're not truly performing at a level you really want, maybe not creating the results you want, you maybe not having the impact and the influence that you really want in your life, and you're definitely not going to be fulfilled at the level that you want to be during your life. That's going to lead to frustration. It's going to lead to you having that feeling every week where you live for the weekend and you're like, oh, it's Monday tomorrow, back to the business, back to the grind, back to doing what I always do, and not necessarily enjoying it. So with a deeper level of awareness, with a deeper level of understanding of ourselves, using something like the motivational maps, we're in a better position to actually make more informed decision, which is going to lead to greater level of performance, results, and more fulfillment and satisfaction in our life. My arm's killing, just come from the gym. Good morning, Alistair. Now, one of the questions I often get asked is, okay, Jay, I get it. Motivational maps is powerful, it's measurable, it's something that I need to understand if I'm going to unlock all of these things. But how often should I be doing them? This is a question that comes up quite a lot. How often should I be doing a map? Well, let me just tell you that just over 12 months ago, I was working in a digital marketing agency, and I've been working with this agency for about 2 years as a contractor. And I was doing my coaching on the side. And as a contractor, I'd help build a friend build his business to probably in the region of $500,000 a year, if I was to take a guess. And overnight, that relationship ended. Now, I'd already completed a motivational map at this point, and it showed that there was a certain number of values that I valued more than others, and there was an order to them. And this particular order showed that money was not necessarily a massive priority for me. It was very much the searcher motivator, which was very much around fulfillment, followed by the spirit, which was all about freedom, autonomy, independence, and then followed by the expert. I did my map again. A matter of months later, I think it was about 2 or 3 months later, and I actually found that money had flown to the top. Why do you think that was? See, you don't have to be an expert to see that money's now going to become one of the most important things for you. But if we don't understand what is driving us, how can we know what to decide? And when I say know what to decide from a place of consciousness, because I can decide if I'm here, and just imagine for a second that you have your map in front of you, and you're looking at your map and you're saying, okay, Alistair, this is what I'm motivated by. These are the top 3 things that if I hit these, I call them the sweet spot. If I hit these through the work that I do in my business and in my life, then it's going to lead to greater levels of success, money, performance, fulfillment, productivity, feeling alive, whatever that is for you that really gets you going. If you understood that, would you make decisions differently? 100%. You'd say, okay, well, as I look at my goals, if you're a goal-oriented person, as I look at my goals or my vision of where I'm going, I need to shift it. Because otherwise I'm going to go down a path and I'm going to be like, this is not even where I want to be. Why am I even doing this? This is not what I enjoy. It isn't aligned. It doesn't light me up. And so we must understand that motivation and our motivators, the order of those motivators change. Unlike personality, which is relatively fixed, these things change. So what I use as a general guide is every 6 months you need to complete a map. I can do a map with all of my coaching clients, which I do in the beginning of the process. And then what happens is at the end of the 90 days, we'll do a map again. And what we'll see is a drastic shift in the scores that they've scored for their levels of fulfillment. And what quite often you see is you quite often see a shift in the order as well. So with a deeper understanding of ourselves, we put ourselves in the driving seat. Every step of personal development, every step of change starts with self-awareness. And the more aware you can become of your behaviors, the more in control you're going to be when it comes to influencing them and making the decisions necessary to actually create the life, the business, and the results that you really want for yourself. Now, if you're hearing all this and you're like, Jay, I want to know how do I get a map? How do I even get on this? Well, if you're interested, one of the things I'm going to be doing, I'll be telling you about it tomorrow, is a very special offer on my maps. Now, normally my maps are now charging at £197, but I will be doing a video tomorrow with a special offer where I'll tell you all about that, just to dangle that little carrot in there if that's something you're interested in. Or if you're like, Jay, never mind waiting until tomorrow, I don't want to wait, I want to know my map, drop me a message and I will actually tell you a little bit more about the details of that. So until tomorrow, as usual, just remember, just show up. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.